In the position of your shadow, we have the 9 of discs. So I just said on the position of your masculine, we have a person who's a leader who works inside of community. Well, this is the opposite, and it's interesting that it's coming up in your shadow. Not quite the opposite. There are similarities. This woman is a witch, and she does her work in solitude. That's where the magic takes place. She's also extremely creative and very natural. So this is about natural magic and creative magic. But it's done alone, and this is in your shadow. Hey Capricorn, welcome to your Jungian reading for June 2021. Today we're going to take a look at your persona, how the world perceives you. We'll take a look at your anima, your feminine aspect, your animus, your masculine aspect. We'll take a look at your shadow, and we'll also take a look at yourself. So if that is something that sounds interesting to you, stick around. I have been shuffling your cards off camera, so I feel like we can give it one last shuffle and then split the deck 3 ways and sync up. Let's do that. All right, in the position of your persona, this is how the world sees you, what you show the world. We have the 6 of Cups. Whoa, Capricorn. The world definitely does see you, don't they? There's a lot of recognition that comes your way. There's also a sense and a feeling and an output of optimism and timing. This is a card of catching the wave and riding it to shore. It's that yes feeling that you get when, you know, you've accomplished something great. And sometimes it's a sense of, I spoke about timing. It's a sense of spontaneity. It happens all of a sudden and you're like, oh my gosh, I was in the right time at the right in the right place at the right time, and I caught it, and now look where I'm at. So the world definitely does recognize you, appreciates you. Interesting. Let's move on. Let's look at your anima. 9 of Swords. So I feel like the function of your feminine side is to really have the courage to stand up and face your fears. Like, this is a part of you that is not at all afraid to contend with, you know, the darker emotions, the darker feelings, the more negative side of life. And I feel like your feminine side really has the courage, has what it takes to reckon with, you know, the dark, to reckon with what comes up in the dark. Interesting. In the position of your anima, we have the Hierophant. Whoa. Are you a spiritual leader of some sort? A counselor? This is a person that guides others in seeking greater wisdom. So it could be that you're a religious figure that leads others, spiritual leader. This person works inside of community. In the position of your shadow, we have the 9 of discs. So I just said on the position of your masculine, we have a person who's a leader who works inside of community. Well, this is the opposite, and it's interesting that it's coming up in your shadow. Not quite the opposite. There are similarities. This woman is a witch, and she does her work in solitude. That's where the magic takes place. She's also extremely creative and very natural. So this is about natural magic and creative magic. But it's done alone, and this is in your shadow. So that there may be something like that might be a weakness of yours. This work that you do spiritually is done inside of community. On your masculine side, which is very forthcoming, the masculine energy goes out into the world and makes it happen, right? Taking action. It's an extroversion, an insertion into the world, right? And then in your shadow is this sort of this doing a similar type of work, magical work, spiritual work, but alone. So that may be an issue for you, Capricorn. In the position of yourself, we have the 8 of Wands. Ooh, I feel like your primary impulse for your true self is to move quick, right? Fast action, fast communication, fast movement, fiery, passionate. Okay, well, Let us clarify. Let's work with the Light Seers Tarot. And we'll begin clarifying the Six of Cups. Capricorn, if this reading is resonating with you so far, hit the like button so that other people can see it, and consider subscribing to my channel. I do all kinds of readings throughout the month for all signs. I like to switch it up. Tell me more about the Six of Cups, please. So the Six of Cups, again, is about success, achievement, and recognition. It's also about progression. This is how the world sees you. King of Pentacles, yeah. Very stable, very solid, at the top of your game. You have a lot of experience behind you. You're walking this path very steadily, accumulating knowledge, sharing knowledge. There's a solitudinal energy about this card as well. Like I mentioned knowledge because, well, experience, right? Experience is what this king has. But look at the bookshelves behind this king as well. I just get the sense that he's very wise. Ooh. There's this wolf here as well that makes me think of just a fierceness. Integrity. This is how the world sees you. That's nice. All right, let's look at the feminine aspect. This is the Nine of Swords in reverse. I feel like your feminine side has overcome a lot of emotional obstacles, anxieties, fears, worries. Really put the work in to move beyond those limitations. Show me more about the feminine. Nine of Swords in reverse. There is this play here between the Nine of Discs and the Hierophant on this sort of spiritual, magical work. The work that you do in the world with others versus the work that you do alone. There's also this play on tradition versus, what's the opposite of tradition? Like innovation. But it's more like non-traditional. Tradition versus non-tradition, where belief systems are concerned. What do we got here? Queen of Wands. Oh, hell yeah. Capricorn. This is lovely. You have a king, you have a queen, you have a Hierophant, and you have a very independent, strong lady in your shadow. You are operating from a certain level of mastery in your life. Whatever you do, however you are at a master level. We're talking here, this came out to clarify, these are both in the position of your anima, overcoming fears, anxieties, worries, and concerns, having put a lot of time and effort into elevating beyond those limitations. Queen of Wands, there's a joy, Capricorn, that you radiate, a warmth and a joy. You really have this fire, and the fire is guiding others. Look at all the candles around her and the fire in her hand. She also has this black cat. She is the energetic archetypal witch, the Queen of Wands. There is some sort of magical work here that you're doing. You are magical in the work that you do. You do it inside of community, and maybe your weakness is in doing it alone or in solitude. Maybe that's not your strong suit, or there's some fear around working independently where this is concerned. It's in your shadow, the Nine of Discs. That's why I say that. But I do get a strong sense, Capricorn, that you are working in community, leading others with like just your freaking beautiful, radiant joy, your passion. Clarify the Hierophant for me, please. I say that too because in how the world sees you, you got the Six of Cups. This is like one of the most joyful cards in the Mother Peace deck. Catching the wave, riding it to shore. It's a yes. It's like, yes, I did it. I got it. And it's like victory. And that's how the world sees you. And you got the Queen of Wands coming out here too. Like, psh. She walks in the room and everybody takes notice. I feel like you get a lot of recognition. People recognize that part of you. Sorry, I got something in my eye. I think it's out. People recognize that about you. If you also might be in a position of leadership and authority, like a supervisor, a boss at the head of an organization, or in, you know, a leader in a community, a leader in a spiritual group, because we have the king and the queen. And those are people who are in positions of power and authority because of the experience that they have behind them. Okay, let's focus. Clarify the Hierophant for me, please. There we go. Justice in reverse. Devil in reverse. Page of Wands. Whoa. Okay. This might be a story for someone. Well, let's see how this weaves together. I feel like this Hierophant, there's something about a distortion of justice where this Hierophant is concerned. And the Devil in reverse is a loosening of a tie. Sorry, let me show these to you. A loosening of a tie to a toxic system, person, way of being, behavior, practice. It's a loosening of that attachment, a loosening of that tie. There's some sort of, with this Hierophant, there may be some sort of injustice. God, well, I don't know why that word took so long to come to me. Some sort of injustice where this position is concerned. Look at the imagery in this picture. It's power over, it's a power over dynamic where people, there's somebody in power and then there's submission. People must submit on your knees. Justice in reverse just indicates an injustice. Devil in reverse indicates some sort of addiction or tie or attachment that needs to be loosened or is being loosened, let go of, released. And then Page of Wands came out in reverse too. I wonder if you're not considering at this moment, you're reconsidering your connection to some sort of traditional system. Oh gosh, sorry guys. My eye. Ooh. Reconsidering your relationship, your connection to some sort of very traditional system that may have been, you may actually have a position of authority or power inside of, or may just have assumed this system, may have assumed a lot of authority over you and your life energy. I'm saying that because these cards are coming out. Pages are impulsive, sparky energy. They follow their passion no matter what. In the reverse, it's sort of a deadening of that passion, a suppression of that passion. And I wonder if it's, that idea is further reinforced by the Nine of Discs in the shadow. Because remember we talked about this being the traditional, and this being the non-traditional. This is sort of what you've been doing, and this is what you're kind of afraid of doing, which means that you probably should gravitate toward doing it and unpack some of your fears around it. And this is working alone. A spiritual leader unto herself, working alone in solitude, in the natural world, summoning creative and natural magic. It's very healing, it's very grounded. So, for some of you, that may be the case. Tell me about this Eight of Wands. I do feel like you, Capricorn, inherently have this passionate, sparky, joyful energy that you radiate, true self, how people see you. And this Queen of Wands clarifying your feminine aspect. So let's learn more about that. Tell me more about the Eight of Wands. There is the King of Pentacles clarifying the Six of Cups, which is interesting. There's a lot of stability here where this optimism is concerned. Here we go. We have the Page of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Woo-wee! So what? We have 2 pages now? Is that right? Yeah. Page of Pentacles and Page of Wands. Yeah. There's some sort of communication. Okay, I'm gonna read the temporary, and then we'll look at yourself. There may be some sort of communication coming your way swiftly. And you will know it to be true. It could be a communication about, it could be a communication that you need to use your intuition to sort of, I'm seeing a picture of people sorting through things, sort through the information to understand what is true and what is false. It could be a communication about a gift that you have to offer, this new way of life outside of this traditional system. High Priestess. High Priestess is very cool, detached, calm, all-knowing. She goes within, like she's like in that liminal space, and she knows. I do feel like you have this almost, or in actuality, psychic gift. Some sort of spiritual gift to give, to offer. And it has to do with this energy that you bring forth in such an obvious and beautiful, radiant way. Can I do this? Can I do this here? 2 hands. This gift is the foundation upon which this gift sits, is this beautiful, radiant optimism that you just naturally bring to the table. It's almost like I just heard the word transmitter. It's the transmitter of the gift. It's the way in which people, the transmitter of the gift. Look at all these arrows. This is communication being transmitted. And the way that you transmit this information, this gift that you have, the approach that you take, that you can't help but just naturally take, because this is you. It allows people, it makes it accessible. It allows people want to embrace the information that you bring forward in this way. They feel it. It inspires them. Okay, let's look at the 9 of Discs in your shadow. Is this something that you maybe are a little bit hesitant about stepping into? Are you fully in it? Leave a comment below and let me know how this reading is resonating with you. Also, if you leave a comment below, I will enter your name into a drawing for a free reading. I am giving one away on July 18th, which is a Sunday. So yeah, leave a comment. Tell me more about this 9 of Discs. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I love the way that it looks. I love the imagery in the card, but I also love the spirit that it embodies. King of Swords, 5 of Swords. Okay. We have another king on the table. And the 5 of Swords in reverse. There's something about avoiding conflict. Wanting to avoid conflict. Maybe you feel like if you step into this energy, there will be conflict that you would like to avoid. Maybe you're stepping into this energy in order to avoid further conflict, going it alone. The King of Swords is we talked about the icy coolness, the liminal space of the High Priestess. The King of Swords is similar to a certain extent, detached from his emotions, purely rational and objective, not subjective. He operates from that place. This is a decision to be made, to step into this Nine of Discs energy, because I feel like you have been leading a community or inside of a community, a spiritual community that's been more traditional, and now you're considering a more non-traditional approach in order to avoid conflict of some sort. Maybe this community is conflicted at the current moment that you're a part of. And there needs to be, in considering this shift, you need to take the approach of the King of Swords. He sits on high, right? He sits way up high. He can see very far and very vast. It's cool, it's cold. And he can make decisions from this place of pure rationality, objectivity, with a very 60,000 foot view perspective. It's not emotional, the decision that he's making. His considerations are not fueled or powered by emotion. And that might be important for you right now as you make this transition, because it seems like there has been some conflict or is some conflict here. Okay, let's pull a card of guidance for you, shall we? Let's look at the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. Capricorn, if you would like to dig deeper into your personal situation, I am doing readings. You can find information about those readings in the description box. Golden Healer. Ooh, wow. Look at this. Let's read about Golden Healer. 27. Ultimate healing. Golden healers are imbued with powerful transformative healing energies. They are a catalyst for profound spiritual activation. Self-understanding. Understanding the quantum world helps you understand yourself. The everyday self is bounded. I think it's just bound. Is bound. Yeah, that's a typo. The everyday self is bound by 5 senses expanded by a 6th, metaphysics, but this can be transcended to move into a field that is non-local, everywhere, and nowhere at once, where there is no time. You create the event being observed. Allow your soul, rather than your ego, to be your guide. Divination. Recognize your potential to be an amazing healer. Your abilities needed honing, and those who heal are soul-scoured to develop empathy. Much in your life needs transforming. Surrender willingly to the process. Someone clinging to the past holds you back. Encourage them to let go. You may be asked to transform your environment or take on a challenging task. Do so with grace and ease. The healing insight. Healing flows through you. It is a process, not something you do. Healing flows through you. It's a process. Yeah, this is speaking to something transforming your environment. You're being asked to transform your environment or take on a challenging task. I really feel like that's describing what we've been talking here. This dualism between the Hierophant in your masculine and the 9 of discs in your shadow. This sort of traditional religious or spiritual practice / community, and this like independent witch type energy. Capricorn, I hope that reading resonated with you. If it did, leave a comment. Also, like the reading so that other people can see it. And I'm wishing you the best in June. Take good care.